My name is Abha Iyengar. I am a poet, an author, and a creative writing mentor. I am also an editor, and I have been writing for the last 14 years. In fact, it's September 11th, 2001, when the Twin Towers were falling in the US. That was the time when I was writing my first story, and I sent it out to be published in the US, and it got selected for an anthology. So that was the start. And the internet is my greatest friend in this regard, because it opened up a lot of international doors for me. Actually, writing is a kind of a passion. It's something which I need to do. And I discovered it very late, of course. I mean, I was writing, but to pursue it professionally, it started, like I said, about 14 years ago. And I find that it's cleansing, it's healing, and it's also a way of expressing what I feel about things which I see and I observe and I hear. And it is actually a chronicle of the times, of our times, and our country, our culture, and of the world around us. I have been published very widely, but the collection of works or stories which have been published initially was a collection of poems called Yearnings. Then I had a collection called a flash fiction collection called Flash Bites, fantasy novel called Shreyan, and then there was the Trials and Tribulations of a Delhi Housewife, which was supposed to be quite quirky and funny. This was called Many Fish to Fry, and now this collection, The Goat Seller and Other Stories, is with Kitab, the 5th collection. Zafar Anjum, he is the founder and editor of Kitab, and he asked me to put together 8 stories which were close to my heart. So that's how the collection came about. And yes, it's been very good working with Kitab. They've been very proactive, informal, and the dialogues between Kitab and me, as far as the publishing of the work was concerned, went very smoothly. And I do hope to work with them again with the next collection of short stories. Kitab is a short story publisher. It's Singapore based. It's an independent publishing house. This is their first foray into publishing, and I, along with 2 other writers, we have our short story collection published with him, with Kitab, and I'm really happy to be among the first 3 authors whose works are coming through this publishing house. You know, the short story is like the girl child in India or in Asian countries. It's treated as a second-class citizen, and people only want to read novels. So it seems, or appreciate novels. Now, the short story becomes important in the sense that it is it's an art form. It's a craft in itself, and it is good that people like Kitab, publishers like Kitab, are doing what they're doing to promote the short story format of the way of writing short stories. Short stories are different from novels. You cannot say that, like people say, we progress from writing short stories to writing novels. That's not correct, because these are 2 very different forms of presentation of work. And the short story is different in the sense that in 4 or 5 pages, you have to put a whole story across. You have to make it appeal to the reader, and you have to you can't have too much of a setting, you can't have too much of a backstory, but you have to have a plot, you have to have a beginning, you have to have a middle, you have to have an ending, you have to have conflict, so it has to have elements of a story, but it is different from novel writing. And again, it's something which now is coming up. People are realizing the importance of the short story, and then of course people say we have less time, so the short story becomes more popular in these times. But I think it's been there since the ages. It's just what you like to read. So it's good that publishers are now focusing on getting short stories published as well. Goat Seller and other stories. Basically, the stories are, how we as human beings deal with the situation, whatever crops up, what choices we make, what are the compromises we have to make, what influences our decisions, and where do we draw the line, and what happens then. Like for example, the Goat Seller, the first story, is about a woman who sort of rediscovers her emotional self with the help of a god. Now, this might seem quite strange to people, but from the mundane, it's in the mundane that you find meaning very often. So the god is actually supposed to convey a lightness of being, and this is conveyed to her through the Goat Seller and the goats he sells. And so she finds an emotional relief or release eventually. Then in this, like the high stool, the second story which is there is this woman who realizes that the pallu loses its meaning in the urban setting. And then there's Marked Territories, another story where a woman has tattoo on her hips and the reaction she gets when she exposes it, and what statement is she making? That's what we have to figure out. So these are all different stories, and there is the basic story, and then there is subtext underneath the story. And this is throughout in our life also. It's like that. What appears and what is below the surface is what, the undercurrents. And so I try through my stories to show that what is the subtext to our lives. So I'm reading from my first story, an excerpt. It's titled The Goat Seller. Green striped gourds, he would say, and then his voice would rise a note or two, and then some more. Long gourds, round and smooth ones, plain ones too, from all parts of the world to lighten up your summer meal, so healthy, so needed for a light recharge of batteries, he would go on and on. There was no end to his poetry on the goodness of gourds. There's magic in the gourd. It cures all desires. It lightens the inside. It creates balance. His words would ring along the alley, while others got busy swishing the flies off from their fruits and their vegetables. His gourds would disappear in the blinking of an eye. Women would pour out of their homes in their saris or in their kaftans, billowing in the heat. Those who had their kaftans on made sure there was a petticoat under it. The even more discreet ones had a dupatta or cotton cloth draped over their shoulders. Reena cringed at the way they thronged to him and what he offered. Then his strident call would be replaced by an equally irritating cacophony of excited women's voices. So this is from The Goat Seller, and you need to read the rest of the story to know exactly what happens. You are the music while the music lasts. So, you can interpret it the way you want, but for me it means that while you're alive, please do the things you want to do. So that's my message to whoever wants to hear it.